Ever wonder how ancient Egyptian pharaohs got their beauty sleep? Between running a kingdom and building pyramids, they needed serious shut-eye. From magical sleep spells to royal bedtime snacks, let's explore how these rulers caught their Z's in style. When the sun started to set along the Nile, pharaohs kicked off their bedtime routines like true royalty. First up, a relaxing bath filled with milk and honey. Yeah, they basically bathed in dessert. Their servants would light aromatic oils and incense, filling the air with calming scents like frankincense and myrrh. The pharaoh's bedchamber was something else. Massive beds made of cedar wood, raised off the ground to keep those pesky scorpions away. And get this, they used curved headrests carved from wood or stone instead of pillows. Sure, it sounds about as comfy as sleeping on a brick, but Egyptians believed these kept evil spirits from entering through their ears while they slept. Talk about some next-level paranoia. Music wasn't just entertainment for ancient Egyptians, it was pure magic for the soul and their sleep. Priests and musicians would play soothing tunes on harps and flutes, creating what they called sweet breath of the north wind. These ancient lullabies used special scales believed to connect with different gods. Imagine the pharaoh lying there, listening to the gentle notes of a harp mixing with the evening breeze from the Nile. They even had specific songs to ward off nightmares, because apparently being a pharaoh came with some pretty intense stress dreams. The musicians would play these dreamy melodies until the pharaoh drifted off, probably mumbling something about pyramid blueprints. Now here's where things get really wild. The Egyptians had an entire spell book dedicated to bedtime. They carved protective spells onto their headrests and wrote them on papyrus scrolls kept under the bed. These weren't your basic sweet dreams kind of spells. We're talking full-on magical formulas to fight off everything from bad dreams to demons. My favorite is this spell that basically tells nightmares to back off and leave through the window. They'd recite these magic words while holding blue-painted amulets. Blue was the color of protection and good sleep. Some pharaohs even had their favorite sleep spells painted right on their bedroom walls, just in case they forgot the words mid-yawn. Let's talk about the most luxurious beds in ancient history. Pharaohs didn't just flop onto any old mattress. They slept on layers of pure linen, sometimes stacked 15 sheets deep. The fabric was so fine you could see through a single layer. They stuffed their mattresses with everything from fragrant dried herbs to downy feathers from sacred ibis birds. The sheets? They weren't just white. They dyed them in rich colors like royal purple and deep blue, using crazy, expensive dyes that cost more than gold. And here's a fun fact. Some pharaohs lined their beds with leopard skins because they thought it gave them the big cat's strength while they slept. Talk about sleeping in style. Ever had a weird dream and wished you had a professional dream decoder on speed dial? Well, pharaohs did. They had an elite squad of priests called Masters of the Secret Things who specialized in dream interpretation. These guys weren't your average fortune cookie readers. They studied ancient dream books and knew every symbol by heart. If a pharaoh dreamed about a crocodile, these priests would know exactly what it meant, usually something about enemies or power moves in the royal court. They kept detailed dream diaries for each pharaoh, tracking patterns and making predictions. Sometimes they'd even sleep in the temple to receive divine dream messages themselves. Talk about a dream job. Ready for some royal gossip? Let's spill the tea on how some famous pharaohs actually slept. Ramesses the Great was such a light sleeper. He had servants fan him all night with ostrich feathers. Cleopatra? She wrapped herself in gold-threaded blankets soaked in rosewater. Fancy. And Tutankhamun took his sleep game to a whole new level with 4 nested beds, each facing a different direction to catch good vibes from all the gods. But the real sleep diva was Hatshepsut. She had her servants count real sheep, yes, actual sheep, walking past her window every night. These rulers sure knew how to turn bedtime into a royal production. You might think the pharaoh's bedroom was the safest place in Egypt, but ancient rulers weren't taking any chances. They had an elite squad of night guards called the Eyes of Horus watching their royal snooze. These weren't your average security guards. They went through years of training and had to pass a silence test. That's right, they had to stand completely still and quiet for hours. The guards worked in rotating shifts, positioned at specific points around the pharaoh's chambers. They used an ingenious system of mirrors to reflect moonlight and keep the area visible without disturbing the royal sleep. And get this, some guards were actually trained falcons who'd screech if they spotted anything suspicious. Think ancient Egyptians just grabbed a midnight snack from the fridge. Think again. The pharaohs had their own special menu of sleep-promoting treats. They'd munch on dates drizzled with honey, nature's sleeping pills packed with minerals that help you doze off. Their favorite bedtime drink? Warm milk mixed with saffron and almonds, sprinkled with a dash of precious cinnamon. The royal kitchen kept special blue lotus flowers on hand too. These weren't just pretty decorations, but natural sedatives that gave rulers sweet, trippy dreams. And for those extra restless nights, they'd nibble on lettuce leaves soaked in wine, an ancient Egyptian version of a nightcap. The ancient Egyptians were total pros at aromatherapy. They turned their bedrooms into ancient day spas. They'd start by burning these amazing incense blends made from frankincense, myrrh, and something called kai-fi, a super fancy mix of 16 ingredients that probably cost a fortune. Their servants would rub them down with sleep-promoting oils like blue lotus and jasmine, stored in those gorgeous alabaster jars you see in museums. But here's the coolest part. They'd hang dried herbs in linen bags around the bed, creating this awesome scent bubble that changed with the warm desert breeze. Some pharaohs even had special chambers built just for storing their aromatherapy stash. The sun god Ra didn't just inspire fancy temples, he was ancient Egypt's most reliable alarm clock. Royal mornings kicked off with priests chanting sunrise hymns outside the pharaoh's chamber. Inside, servants would open special sun-catching mirrors, bouncing the first light onto the pharaoh's face. No hitting snooze when you're literally woken up by a god. They'd serve morning tea infused with lotus flowers and honey, the ancient Egyptian version of a morning coffee. And those eye-shaped amulets pharaohs wore? They weren't just for style, they symbolized being as watchful as Ra himself, ready to tackle another day of royal duties. There you have it, the royal bedtime secrets of ancient Egypt. Thanks for joining this dreamy journey through history. If you enjoyed learning about pharaohs' sleeping habits, hit that like button and subscribe for more ancient mysteries. Sweet dreams, everyone.